Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So over the Christmas period, I reached out to my friend Gina Ahrens over in the US and invited her to take part in a collaborative project in February this year. And I'm happy to say that she agreed. So what we've done is I've sent Gina a small piece of video and an envelope that contains some resources and some bits of ephemera for her to create a project with, and she's done the same thing for me. So I will show you what I've received from Gina and the project that I've put together using those bits and pieces that she sent me. And if you want to see what Gina's done with what I've sent her, then you'll need to hop on over to her channel, which I'll put a link to down below. So I hope you enjoyed what we've done, and I will see you again at the end.
Hey guys, hey Mike, hey Bentley. Bandit and I, we wanted to say hi and let you know that we sent your mail. We hope you find it interesting. I have to bribe him to stay on camera. Mike, he's not as well behaved as Bentley. And yes, we're out here in the garage. Come here, hey. Yes? Okay. Do you want to say hi to Bentley? Or are you more interested in the bacon treats? You're more interested in the bacon treats. All right. We hope you can do something interesting with it. And I can't wait to see what you do. I'm going to go open your envelope in just a minute. And it's going to be a lot of fun. See you soon.
And this is the envelope that Gina has sent me. Now obviously I've covered up Gina's address for privacy reasons, and I pulled out the contents and I have had a quick sneak peek of what's inside. Everything was wrapped up in this beautiful heart tissue paper, all bound with this gorgeous red ribbon. So these are the bits that she sent me. There's a little private note in there with some beautiful big heart-shaped doilies. There was some confetti, heart-shaped confetti. That'll be fun. There's some cute quote sayings and phrases that I can use in future art journal pages. I can't squeeze all of these into one. I may choose one to use. And there's a couple of February calendars. A couple of clips. Now that was attached to something, but I forgot what it was attached to. Something in here. The beautiful ATC, well, a little piece of unique art that Gina sent. Look like little faces, don't they? They could be anything. Could be buds on a flower, chrysalis, anything. And this unique piece of artwork, another little tiny piece, rather lovely. Some gorgeous foil. Now I've yet to test the foil to see whether it's the kind that I can put glue down and it comes off, so to do some home foiling with. There were some hand-done tags, so it's hand stamped. I'm presuming these are with Gina's own stamps. And then the unusual bit for Valentine's was she sent me a beautiful feather sticker, which can be used in a Valentine's page. Which I will try and integrate this into a Valentine's theme page. But the other unusual one, which I'm going to have real difficulty with actually getting into a Valentine's page, and it's this one. Now immediately, you see, I just see the heart in the middle. But I don't know whether I can use this in a Valentine's themed page, and again this is a sticker that she sent me, so lots to go at, lots of fantastic stuff that I can incorporate into a Valentine's themed project. So I guess I now have to get my thinking cap on, and this was, I'll just show you the front of the card that she enclosed inside. Little private note inside. But again, I'm sure that's a Gina stamp. So how lovely is that? Love the backing paper. Very, very cute. So as I say, the challenge is to create a Valentine's themed project or page using the stuff that we've been sent, so I better get my brain in gear. So with my lovely pile of goodies, I'm going to begin by sticking down that lovely little love heart tissue paper completely all over my page, which is an 8-inch circle cut from a big piece of the 300 GSM £140 watercolour card from Winsor & Newton. So I've covered it completely with that collage PAUGE, and I'm just going over the top of the tissue paper and sealing it, and then giving it a quick dry. And then one of those beautiful heart doilies I'm ripping in half, and I'm going to put one half at one side and one at the other, and I'm going to glue that down using the collage PAUGE also. So once those two halves of the doily are stuck down, I'm going to bring out my heat gun and then give that a drying. And then, once dry, I've trimmed off the excess and I've brought out my NEOCOLORs. I'm starting off with the Rose NEOCOLOR, which is a nice light pink, and I'm just going to activate that with a baby wipe just to start building up the layers in my background. Now, because this is too light, and I just wanted to get rid of that white, I've now brought out the Scarlet. This is the Scarlet red. And I'm just going to concentrate mostly with the colour on the outside of the page. So I keep adding more and more, and just building it up and building it up and building it up. Because my page is wet because of the baby wipe, I'm able to just put it straight down. I put the NEOCOLOR straight down and then blend it, just using the moisture from the baby wipe on my fingers. And doing it this way, it's actually really, really satisfying. Blending it with your finger is really nice. It's a great feeling to be able to do it. I know I'm weird. It's nothing new. Using your fingers while applying colour and paint is one of the oldest ways to do it, and it gives you a real connection to the piece of work that you're trying to create. So I'm now adding in some light blue, again NEOCOLOR. It may seem a strange choice, but you'll understand why in a little while when I start adding my focal points. So I'm adding some blue again around the edges and just blending those colours in with my fingers, just moistening the tips of my fingers with the baby wipe. Next, I want to introduce another colour. This time I'm going to bring out the yellow, and I'm going to add some patches of yellow into that background mix too. The choice of colours on my background have been informed by the colours that are incorporated in my focal points that I'm going to be putting on the page later on. So it's not a random choice, it is by design. So I have looked at the focal images and seen what colours are in there, and that's informed my decision as to what colours I need to integrate into the background. So I'm happy with the way those NEOCOLORs are blending on the background. Now what I need to do is to kind of knock that back a little bit. Now I want to bring some white into it, so to do that I'm going to use the white gesso from Indigo Blue, the G So Good, and instead of putting that on with my fingers, I'm actually going to scrape it over with a spatula. Because I'm using paint on the spatula, when I drag it across the top of the paper doily, the paint fills in those holes and gives us a little bit of a pattern from that doily edge. Next up, I'm going to introduce my focal point. This is a tag from the pile that Gina sent. I'm also going to bring in one of those stickers that she also sent, which was the feather sticker, and you'll see why I introduced the blue, because there is blue in that sticker. So we have blue and purple, so I'm going to decide on where I'm going to put it, and it's going to end up on the right hand side of the page. I'm sticking it down completely, and then using the NEOCOLORs, the red and the purple, I'm going to add some to my craft mat and then grab a small brush and then activate them with the gesso. And I'm going to add some of that colour around the border of the block that I've cut off from the tag. I'm just going to add the colour and then blend it in with my fingers, adding the purple also. As you can see, I'm just cleaning my brush and just adding a little bit of gesso to the purple and adding the purple in. And I'll also just use some gesso on its own just to lighten the edges a little bit. Now you can see where I got my colours from. The yellow from the tag, the purples, the reds and the blues from the feather. So they're all in there, all those colours are there. So I'm trying to keep everything as coherent and colour coordinated as I can. So I'm just going to give everything a quick dry, and then I'm going to grab my edge scruffer and I'm just going to go around the edges of that love block that I've cut from the tag that Gina sent. So we're all scruffed up, so I've decided to lay the feather over the top of that love word, and I'm just going to glue that down onto the base card or onto my page, just using some standard PVA school glue, just bog standard craft glue. No real reason why I used the PVA, it was in my line of my eyesight rather than a collage glue stick, so it was literally what was nearest to my fingers. Next up, I'm going to bring out some of the contents of the bag of confetti, and as I'm going through the bag I find other hearts in there also which are absolutely perfect, and it's just providence that they were in there. I didn't know that blue one or those two buff coloured ones were in there. I just thought it was just normal confetti, so it's fate, obviously. So they're going on the front of the page as well. So they're all going to get stuck down using the matte medium from ALEEN'S, the Tracy Bautista Collage PAUGE. I'm just going to add some to the page and then go over the top and seal them in. Make sure they're all nicely glued down before moving on. And obviously the confetti hearts are very, very delicate, so I've got to be very, very careful when adding those to the page because I don't want them to crease, wrinkle or tear. So you'll see me doing a little bit of a dance around with them, make sure that I don't damage them in any way. So I've no real plan of how many of these I want to stick on. I'm literally just going to keep adding them until I think there is enough balance on the page, and I'll just keep adding them where I think they're going to look best and, you know, are needed. The fun things about doing challenges of this nature is that you'll never really know how these pages are going to look or turn out. It's just a case of just do it and see what magic happens. Next up, I'm bringing in a dark blue NEOCOLOR. Now I'm just putting some on a styrofoam plate and I'm activating it with water, getting a nice runny consistency, and then I'm going to add some blue splatters around the page just to try and make that blue a bit more cohesive with the rest of the colours. And because I only have black in the scribbly lines around the hearts and in the word love, I also want to include some black in there too. So out comes my black NEOCOLOR, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing, add some to the plate, activate it with water and add some black splatters to the page also. Of course, the last thing we want to do now is to smudge those splatters, so I need to get them dry before moving on. So now I want to add some scribbly lines around my word blocks and also around the hearts from the confetti bag that Gina sent. I have the scribbly lines around the hearts that were already in there, so just to make the confetti hearts look more in keeping, I'm going to do exactly the same thing with those two. And because I now have scribbly lines on the interior of my page, I also want to include some scribbly black lines on the exterior of my page. So I'm creating a scribble black line border to go all the way around the outside of my page. So looking at the page now, I have a white border around the feather and only a few areas of white showing through. So I want to add some more white in the foreground of the page. So to do that, I'm going to grab some bits and pieces out of my mark making drawer, including this piece of a bubble wrap or buble wrap as we call it here. I'm just going to add some little bubble wrap marks, and I've also got some lids from a couple of bottles that I'm also going to add some white circles around the page with. So I'm very happy with the way the page now looks, so I'm just going to quickly dry it off with my heat gun, and then all I need to do is to sign and date it. I'm just going to date it with my date stamp that I picked up for cheap at Staples. And then I'm calling this page complete. Done and dusted. So I really hope you've enjoyed watching what I've put together with those bits and pieces that Gina sent me. Now obviously I couldn't integrate everything into the project because it would have been this big and this high, and you know, I just couldn't have done it. So because she sent that much. So I hope you've really enjoyed it, and I hope you'll pop on over to Gina's channel and have a look to see what Gina's done with the bits that I've sent her. So if you have enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with all of your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. And just finally, I just want to say a huge thank you to Gina for taking part in this little collaboration. That's all from me for now. I will see you all again real soon. Bye for now. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels. Without you, this video would not have been possible. Thank you.